Hi everyone, it's me again. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I know I'm a little late on reviewing the chapters for Black Clover My Hero Academia. Holidays got in the way, so I should be able to get on track very likely this week. Also, you guys gotta remember that my school semester is gonna start next week on Tuesday, so it appears I was supposed to go to lecture in person, but because of the Omicron variant, it appears they're gonna stick to online for 2 weeks and see how it goes. So it's very unfortunate, but I mean, honestly, I feel a little bit more comfortable doing it online because I'm kind of able to study more at my own pace, and it's a little easier for me because I could kind of pause if a lecture gets a little too boring. And also, I love the fact that once it's recorded, I'm able to go back to it if I didn't understand something. So that's, to me, one of the advantages of doing it online. But I mean, of course, it does have big weaknesses. You can't really see your professor that much. So those who are more suited to in-person, lecturing for studying, they're kind of a disadvantage. But I really hope things get a little better, and hopefully everyone out there is doing well. They're healthy, and I hope they don't get sick. I mean, it's been it's been very tough couple of years since this pandemic began. It's been very tough. I really hope things get better. But anyways, let's forget about that. Let's focus on this. For this week's, that week's chapter for Black Clover, it was a very intense chapter, honestly, and I'm very excited to see more because we got to see just how powerful Lucifero is, even though he hasn't fully manifested yet, and it's very terrifying to even imagine how much powerful he is if he would have been fully manifested. But let's begin. So the chapter begins right away with Lucifero's confrontation with both Asta and Liebe. I mean, we could literally see just how much hatred and anger Liebe has for Lucifero, and he even demands him, like, do you even know who I am? Lucifero doesn't even recognize him, which makes Liebe even more furious because, as you know, Lucifero took over Liebe's body when he was living with her and killed Lisita. I think that's the correct pronunciation for her name. And in order to save it, Lisita put Liebe inside the Grimoire. I mean, we even get a glimpse of Lucifero's power. I mean, when he increases the gravity on the surrounding area, it causes the landscape to shatter. And as Asta falls due to the tremendous gravity, he realizes just how tremendously powerful Lucifero's magic is. I mean, it's insane. I mean, even Asta cannot believe it, even though Lucifero is not even fully manifested. We see Liebe tells Asta that he wants to take Lucifero down at all costs, and they immediately do the devil union. We see from afar, Nat tells Asta not to be very foolish in using the devil union due to Lucifero's ridiculously high magic. We see Asta using one of his swords, I think it's the Demon Slayer sword, to smash the ground and slashing the zone that's being affected by the gravity to move more freely towards Lucifero. I mean, we even get to see the devil that came out from the second gate watching the fight from afar, and is very surprised that Asta is even able to move within Lucifero's magic. And it makes me wonder, why hasn't this devil done anything to attack the other civilians, or why hasn't he teamed up to attack Asta with Lucifero. That's one of the things that I'm still wondering about this second gate devil. I mean, what is his magic power, and why hasn't he attacked anyone? I mean, on the last chapter, he did give a warning to the humans about telling them like, oh, you shouldn't be celebrating this, this, and this, and that. I mean, in a way, he kind of warned them. Also, he calls Asta an odd one because he feels that there's no magic power within Asta. And as the fast as the fight begins, we see that Asta is getting overconfident and starts overlooking Lucifero's magic. I mean, he literally starts claiming, oh, I'll finish Lucifero within 4 minutes. As Asta tries to attack Lucifero with the Demon Slayer sword, Lucifero stops the upcoming attack with hardly any effort. When he slices his finger on the blade and sees that his finger starts bleeding, he becomes irritated or like very, very furious. I mean, honestly, it's both. He becomes, I guess, irritable. And I guess to take off his frustrations, he punches Asta in the face, sending him flying quite far. We see that the second Devil Gate is very surprised to see, witness Lucifero's magic, despite that he's not even fully manifested. I mean, this is frightening. I mean, I could just imagine how much powerful Lucifero is if he would have manifested completely. I mean, it brings me back to the older chapters when Nat said that they cannot allow Lucifero to fully manifest because that will mean the end of the world. And honestly, I'm starting to see why. I mean, this is just half of Lucifero's power, and he's easily overpowering everyone. I mean, Asta, who has quite a big advantage because he's able to erase magic, we see that he can't really do much. He's literally getting overpowered like nothing. Meanwhile, we see Vanessa, who's lying on the floor and states how Rogue's power was barely able to save her and I guess the rest of the Black Bolts. Furthermore, we see that we learned that Yami still keeps getting weaker every second that passes, and this is literally telling me that I guess the connection to open more gates to the underworld is still there. They haven't broken it up completely. So if Yami keeps getting weaker, I could just imagine William is also getting weaker as well. Just as Asta crashes near Vanessa, Vanessa is like literally fearful that if Lucifero were to get any closer or start showing any interest like in the other people, they'll all be crushed. She even states that Lucifero's presence forces all creation to its knees. Humans, spells, and even fate itself is being crushed. Asta, I mean, he's struggling to even get up, and he even states that his vision has been affected by just getting punched. However, Asta is not alone. We finally see Mirleona and the other captains backing up Asta, and they're getting ready to fight Lucifero. So it's a very cool way how they ended the chapter. I mean, goodness, they cannot always all rely on Asta. I mean, his anti-magic is very powerful, but Asta has its limits, and it's even surprising to see that the other captains are kind of they're pretty much able to I guess resist Lucifero's gravity. Maybe it's because they're near Asta, but who knows. So I'm really hoping we'll get to see the captains in action. I mean, one of the things I hate about this arc that we didn't get to see the other captains much in action. I mean, I was very disappointed that we didn't get to see Mirleona's fight against that huge ass devil. I was very, very upset. I was hoping to see Mirleona in action, and that didn't happen. And I got even more disappointed that we didn't even get to see Dorothy in action. So I'm really hoping we'll get to see the captains in action and against Lucifero and see just how powerful they have grown. Maybe we might get to see the second devil make his move, but something about that devil, I don't know. It's very frightening that he hasn't decided to attack anyone. So it makes me wonder, what is his purpose being there? Like, what is gonna cause him to attack someone, or like, what's on his mind? So I'm very curious more about that devil, his name, and his magic power. So hopefully we get answers for next week's chapter. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you for the next video. Bye.